YNW Melly, his real name is Jamel Demons. He's actually in plain clothes in the courtroom for the first time in months, again, as this judge really starts the long process of seating a new jury.
He decides to flip and become a cheese eater.
Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's unrelated to this negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be.
Brace yourself, because what you're about to hear makes every courtroom melt down. Every Zeus Network fistfight and every Kardashian collapse look like preschool nap time. This, right here, is the kind of scandal that doesn't just trend, it shakes the internet by the throat. Reports are flying in faster than conspiracy theories on TikTok that YNW Melly collapsed after seeing new evidence in his case. And the details are so wild, even Netflix would reject the script for being too unrealistic. The moment prosecutors drop the fresh stack of receipts, thicker than a cheesecake. Factory menu witnesses swear Melly's whole expression changed like someone unplugged his soul. 1 second he was staring calmly. The next, he folded like a lawn chair at a family barbecue. And trust me, this wasn't dramatic for attention. This was the kind of collapse that makes everyone in the room look at each other like, HH. Are we supposed to call somebody? Meanwhile, the courtroom tension skyrocketed. Lawyers stiffened. The judge blinked twice like he needed a commercial break, and the audience. People went silent faster than fans at a Ja Rule concert. Whatever this new evidence is, it didn't just shake the case. It sent it straight into darkness. From the moment the courtroom doors opened that morning, people could feel something was off. It wasn't the usual tension, not the typical quiet dread that follows YNW Melly's case like a shadow. This was different. This was the type of heaviness that makes even security guards stand straighter and whisper less. Rumors had been swirling for days that prosecutors were preparing something big, something fresh, something they'd kept locked tighter than a Drake album release. And when they finally brought out the folder, the room shifted like a storm cloud rolling in. Melly entered the courtroom looking calm, but drained, as if the weight of the entire internet was balanced on his shoulders. Fans noticed his eyes scanning the room, searching for clues, hints, warnings, anything. But nobody knew what was coming. Not the spectators, not the bloggers, and apparently not Melly himself. Prosecutors placed the thick packet of evidence on the table so dramatically that people in the back row thought they heard thunder. This wasn't normal paperwork. This was a bomb wrapped in legal formatting. Everything changed the second they opened the packet. According to witnesses who ran to the internet faster than paparazzi chasing Rihanna, Melly's face shifted instantly. One moment he was upright, focused, prepared. The next, his body slackened like the gravity in the room had tripled. His hands trembled slightly, his breathing changed, and it was obvious to anyone watching that whatever he saw sent a shockwave straight through his spine. Imagine expecting a pop quiz and instead getting handed a 2-hour college final multiplied by 1,000. Prosecutors began reading aloud, their voices echoing through the silence like church bells. And the details they described. They weren't weak, they weren't recycled, and they weren't vague. These weren't the same old pieces of evidence everyone had debated online for years. No, this was new. Frightening, sharp evidence that stabbed straight into the heart of Melly's defense. The kind that makes attorneys exchange glances like, yeah, this just got complicated. Every line of evidence felt designed to crush hope. New digital forensics, new witness clarifications, new interpretations of old data that somehow made it worse. And reportedly, there was even a piece of evidence tied to conversations prosecutors recovered from places nobody expected. People in the courtroom said Melly's eyes widened like he was seeing a ghost crawl out of a phone screen. Within seconds, whispers rippled through the benches. Someone swore they saw Melly's leg buckle. Another person said his lawyer subtly grabbed his arm like he expected the worst. And then it happened, the moment that sent the internet into meltdown. Melly leaned back like the world around him blurred, blinked twice in disbelief, and then slowly sank downward, collapsing against the table as if the truth weighed more than his entire body could carry. People gasped. Even the judge shifted uncomfortably, clearly not expecting reality TV-level drama that early in the morning. Security stepped forward, unsure whether to intervene or just escort him back. Lawyers tried to help, but the damage was done. The moment Melly collapsed, the courtroom energy shifted into pure chaos mode. People whipped out notebooks. Bloggers typed so fast their keyboards probably begged for mercy. One spectator swore Melly looked like a man who just watched his future fall off a cliff. The reaction wasn't exaggerated, it was primal. But let's rewind a bit to understand why this moment hit so hard. This case hasn't been some smooth, predictable ride. It's been a roller coaster designed by a psychopath, mistrials, delays, appeals, accusations, leaked emails, star witnesses disappearing faster than common sense in Hollywood. You name it. For years, the case has lived in limbo, teetering between possibilities. And Melly, with his calm demeanor and cryptic smiles, always looked like someone who believed time was on his side. Not anymore, when prosecutors dropped the new evidence. Melly's reaction told the world the one thing nobody expected. This wasn't another speed bump. This was a brick wall. People online immediately went into detective mode. Reddit threads exploded. Twitter turned into a crime lab. TikTok became an editing studio for digital CSI experts. Everyone tried piecing together what kind of evidence could make Melly physically collapse like that. Some guessed new witness testimony. Others said phone location data. Some went nuclear, suggesting recovered audio or unseen footage. Nobody knew the truth, but the speculation spread like wildfire. Even Melly's own supporters felt the shift. For months, some fans believed he'd walk free. Others thought the case was too messy for conviction. But after watching the collapse clip, because yes, the internet somehow got footage within minutes, even his biggest offenders looked rattled. The collapse didn't look rehearsed, didn't look like strategy, didn't look like a stunt. It looked like shock. Genuine shock from someone who saw something he never imagined would resurface. Meanwhile, prosecutors kept pressing forward like they were narrating a thriller. Each line they read intensified the tension. Some spectators swore they saw Melly's attorney clench his jaw. Others claimed the prosecutor's voice carried a hint of satisfaction, the kind that only appears when someone knows. They've delivered a fatal blow. Whether true or not, the courtroom energy confirmed. This new evidence wasn't mild. It was devastating. Naturally, the outside world reacted instantly. Paparazzi crowded the courthouse like vultures circling a fresh storyline. Reporters breathlessly updated their live feeds. Fans rushed to social media with dramatic captions like, "Melly just fell to the floor," "Something is wrong," or "Courtroom just got dead silent." New evidence is insane. Conspiracy channels had their thumbnails ready within minutes, complete with exaggerated arrows pointing at nothing. But here's the part nobody expected. Melly didn't recover quickly. People said he stayed slumped, shaken, overwhelmed. Some described him as pale, others as stunned. Some even said he muttered something under his breath. Whatever he saw, in that evidence packet peeled away every layer of composure he'd maintained throughout the trial. It was the first time anyone had seen him genuinely rattled, and that's what made the moment historic, because in a case this massive, this controversial, this unpredictable, Melly's collapse wasn't just a physical reaction, it was a signal to the courtroom, to the prosecution, to the defense, and to the world watching. Something dark has entered this case, and it changes everything. The moment word spread that Melly had collapsed in court, the internet spiraled into absolute hysteria. It was like someone pressed a global panic button. Twitter turned into a digital riot. TikTok became a crime scene reenactment studio. YouTube commentators dropped emergency live streams titled "What Just Happened?" before they even knew what happened. Everyone, everywhere, simultaneously decided they were now qualified forensic analysts, legal experts, and psychic investigators with a PhD in courtroom energy. Within minutes, the memes started dropping like airstrikes. One showed Melly fainting in slow motion with dramatic Avengers music playing in the background. Another reenacted the moment using a Barbie doll collapsing into a shoebox courtroom. People were clowning, panicking, theorizing, and overreacting all at once. The perfect cocktail for viral chaos. But the memes weren't just jokes, they were cover-ups for fear. Because everyone could feel it. Whatever Melly saw wasn't normal evidence. It was next-level dark. That's when celebrities started chiming in. Rap artists posted crying emojis. Some wrote cryptic tweets, like this case turning left fast. While others doubled down on prayers, quoting Bible verses like the trial suddenly became the Book of Revelations. Even bloggers who usually stayed neutral were saying, "Y'all, something is off." When people who profit off drama get nervous, you know the situation is serious. Then came the leaks, because of course, the leaks always come. Someone, claiming to be a courtroom insider, told reporters that the new evidence involved digital reconstructions, enhanced audio, and previously unreleased forensic material. That description alone sent the entire fan base into cardiac arrest. Enhanced audio, digital reconstructions. Those words sound like Hollywood editing techniques, not something you want showing up in a case this heavy. But the real panic hit when a blurry text screenshot went viral. It supposedly came from someone inside the courthouse and read, "This new evidence is bad." Like real bad? Whether real or fake didn't matter. It spread like wildfire. Fans reposted it with captions like, "Pray for Melly. This case is taking a turn, and something is not adding up." Meanwhile, Melly's legal team looked rattled in every photo that hit the internet. One shot showed his attorney staring at the new evidence like it was cursed. Another showed the defense whispering furiously while Melly sat slumped in his chair, still visibly shaken. TikTok lip readers analyzed the footage like it was the Zapruder film. One person claimed Melly whispered, "No way." Another said he muttered, "That's not real." And a third insisted he said nothing because how do you speak when your entire future flips upside down? The public's reaction split into four loud factions. Team Melly believed prosecutors were pulling tricks. They said the new evidence was manufactured, misinterpreted, or misrepresented. Team Justice insisted this was the breakthrough they had been waiting for. Team Conspiracy claimed the entire trial was orchestrated by unseen forces. And Team Lost just wanted to know what was going on because the internet made everything sound like a Netflix horror special, as the drama intensified. Legal analysts began dropping emergency breakdowns. They pointed out that cases usually don't take sudden turns unless something huge surfaces. Something that changes the timeline, contradicts past statements, or reshapes the entire narrative. The phrase "dark turn" started circulating, and fans began speculating if the new evidence involved new witnesses, recovered messages, or unseen forensic data. But here's where things got even crazier. A rumor popped up claiming the new evidence came from an external digital source. That phrase terrified everyone. What external source? A phone? A laptop? A cloud backup? Deleted data? Surveillance footage? Theories spread like wildfire. Some swore it was a recovered video. Others believed it was location data prosecutors had been unable to access until now. And a few fans speculated it was audio from the night everything happened, regardless of what it was. One thing was clear. Melly's collapse proved he did not expect it, and just when the internet was catching its breath, another twist landed. A courtroom sketch artist went viral for drawing Melly looking completely overwhelmed, his hands covering his face, his body slumped, his attorney leaning in like he was bracing him. The sketch spread across all platforms like spiritual graffiti. People said it captured the exact moment his world shifted. Outside the courthouse, crowds gathered instantly. Reporters shoved microphones at anyone who looked like they had a pulse. What did you see? Did Melly faint? What did the evidence show? Nobody had answers, but that didn't stop them from giving opinions. Humans love drama, but they love mystery even more. Meanwhile, inside the courtroom, the judge had to call for a brief recess because the tension was suffocating. Even he looked thrown off. He asked for order, for calm, for everyone to take a breath, but the courtroom felt like a pressure cooker seconds away from exploding. Everything about the moment screamed, "This isn't normal. This isn't typical. This is a seismic shift." When court resumed, prosecutors continued presenting like nothing had happened. But their tone had changed. They sounded more confident, firmer, almost energized. People noticed. Fans whispered that prosecutors smelled victory. Supporters argued they were just dramatizing for effect. But no matter which side people were on, everyone agreed the energy had changed dramatically. Social media exploded again that night with live streams, breaking down every micro-expression Melly made. Analysts paused footage to examine his reactions frame by frame. You'd think they were studying alien footage. Comments poured in by the thousands. Why did he look at his lawyer like that? Why did he slump? Why didn't the defense object harder? Every twitch became evidence in the minds of amateur detectives. Then one blogger dropped a nuclear claim. This evidence changes everything. The post went viral instantly. Nobody knew what it meant, but the phrasing alone sent fans spinning. People theorized it either proved something devastating or exposed something previously hidden. The courtroom collapse became symbolic the moment Melly realized the story had crossed into territory you can't walk back from. The last insane twist of the day came from a journalist outside the courthouse who claimed a prosecutor said, "We're just getting started." That single sentence unleashed another round of hysteria. If that was just the beginning, what else were they about to reveal? What new darkness was waiting in those sealed folders? One thing was crystal clear. The trial wasn't just continuing. It had mutated into something far more intense. And Melly wasn't just shaken. He was shattered as the courtroom shockwave settled. The aftermath began rolling out like a slow-motion disaster movie. And make no mistake, this wasn't just another trial update. This was the moment everything shifted. The moment the case stopped being a legal battle and transformed into a full-blown public spectacle. Outside the courthouse, crowds doubled in size. Bloggers camped out with microphones. Fans argued in circles so intense they might as well have been debating religion. Everyone knew something heavy had landed. And everyone knew the worst part wasn't over. Inside Melly's circle, panic started spreading like wildfire. His legal team reportedly regrouped behind closed doors, pacing, whispering, reviewing documents with the desperation of people trying to stop a ship from sinking after it's already underwater. Sources claimed the new evidence not only blindsided Melly, it blindsided them too. They allegedly expected something technical, something debatable, something they could spin. But what they got, according to whispers, was concrete, the kind of evidence that doesn't need translation or interpretation to do damage. Meanwhile, prosecutors walked out of the courtroom with a new energy. The kind only seen when someone feels the tide turning in their favor. They didn't gloat, didn't smile, didn't celebrate, but their confidence was unmistakable. It was the silent kind, the dangerous kind that says, "We know something the world doesn't know yet." That attitude alone sent shockwaves through Melly's fanbase. People online begged for updates, praying the rumors were exaggerated, hoping Melly's collapse wasn't the symbol it appeared to be. But the most chilling shift happened on social media. Overnight, thousands of fans who once swore Melly would walk free started hesitating. Their posts changed from "Free Melly" to "What did he see?" And this is getting scary. Even the die-hard supporters, the ones who argued with strangers for hours, went quiet, waiting, watching, replaying that collapse over and over like it held some hidden message. It wasn't just a fall, it was the moment his confidence cracked. Then came the analysts' lawyers, criminologists, podcast hosts, YouTubers with ring lights and strong opinions. They all said the same thing: a defendant collapsing from new evidence is not normal. They argued it could signify shock, fear, realization, or a sudden loss of hope. Whatever it meant, the experts agreed this case had officially entered new territory. Darker territory. The kind of territory where the truth no longer whispers. It roars. Even celebrities reacted. Some tweeted cryptic prayers. Others posted side-eye emojis, signaling something felt off. A few rappers posted, "This case just took a crazy turn," while avoiding specifics because everyone knew the risks of speaking too boldly. Influencers dropped reaction videos acting like the courtroom collapse was the new Super Bowl halftime show. One creator even reenacted the moment using action figures, which went viral despite offering no real insight at all. But the scariest part? The prosecution hinted subtly, strategically, that there may be more evidence on the way. Not confirmed, not guaranteed. Just hinted that whisper alone sent fans spiraling again. If this evidence made Melly collapse, what else could possibly be coming? People speculated about unreleased recordings, unseen logs, new technology, updated analysis. Some claimed the government had been holding back. Others believed a new witness stepped forward. Theories were everywhere, each one crazier than the last, each one fueling the sense that a storm was brewing deeper than anyone expected. Inside the courtroom, Melly reportedly remained shaken. Witnesses described him as quiet, withdrawn, still processing what he saw. One person said he stared straight ahead like someone replaying a nightmare in his head. His body language changed. No confidence, no smirk, none of the calm he showed earlier in the trial. Just tension, pure tension. And that visual alone fueled speculation across every platform. Meanwhile, the defense faced a nightmare scenario. If the new evidence was as damaging as rumors claimed, they needed a strategy, fast. A new argument, a new angle, a new approach. But how do you fight evidence your own client reacts to like it's a death sentence? That's the question lawyers and analysts kept asking. Because in trials like this, perception is almost as powerful as proof. And Melly's reaction was the strongest perception shift the case had seen in months. As the days passed, the internet stayed glued to every update. News sites released articles with titles like "The Collapse That Changed Everything" and "Why Melly's Reaction Matters More Than the Evidence Itself." Comment sections became battlegrounds. Comment sections became battlegrounds. Some fans doubled down on their loyalty, insisting the collapse was stress, not guilt. Others argued the opposite. And a third group, the chaos lovers, just wanted popcorn and more episodes of Courtroom. Drama. The ripple effect extended into the music industry. Some artists distanced themselves quietly, scrubbing old posts. Others remained loyal. Some posted cryptic messages like "Time reveals all." But everyone was watching, waiting, anticipating the next twist. Because the case wasn't just legal, it had become cultural, symbolic, bigger than Melly himself. Then came the moment nobody expected. A rumor began circulating that prosecutors were preparing another batch of evidence to introduce later in the trial. Not confirmed, not denied, just whispered, this rumor spread like gasoline on open flames. Fans said if this was the warm-up, the next one might end him. Others argued the prosecution was bluffing for psychological warfare. Whatever the truth was, one thing became clear. Melly wasn't out of the woods. In fact, the woods had turned into a maze filled with traps, shadows, and dead ends. The tension grew so thick that even news anchors reported updates with lower voices, like narrating a horror film. People described the case as dark, twisted, messy, unpredictable. And after that courtroom collapse, those descriptions felt painfully accurate. This wasn't just a trial anymore. It was a descent into something deeper. Something scarier, something that made even outsiders uneasy by the end of the week. Everyone from the defense to the judge to the fans knew one unavoidable truth. The case had changed forever. The collapse wasn't drama. It was a warning. A warning that the evidence coming to light wasn't just damaging. It was dangerous and the darkest part. This story still wasn't finished. And there you have it. The collapse, the chaos. The courtroom shockwave that flipped this entire trial upside down like a plot twist written by a director on 3 hours of sleep and unlimited caffeine. What started as a normal hearing turned into the moment that froze the internet, shattered fan theories, and dragged this case into a darkness nobody expected. If your jaw is still on the floor, good. That means you're tuned in to Rap Truth, where the drama stays hotter than Twitter after a diss track. Before you disappear into the comments to argue with strangers, you better slam that like button like it owes you commissary money. Every like keeps us deep in the trenches, digging up the raw, the real, and the ridiculous that the mainstream won't tell you. And trust me, this case is far from over. There are more twists coming, more leaks brewing, more courtroom tension ready to explode the second someone says the wrong thing. Now listen, if you're new here, don't play yourself. Hit that subscribe button like you're closing a cell door with attitude. Because on Rap Truth, we drop updates faster than prosecutors drop evidence packets. You do not want to miss when the next revelation blows the roof off this story. Hit that bell too, so you get every alert the second the madness drops. Drop your theories in the comments. Is this new evidence the nail in the coffin, or a misread bombshell? What do you think Melly saw? Let's talk about it. This has been Rap Truth, where scandals don't fade. They multiply.